Today, I'm going to try and beat Cult of the Lamb with just my voice. Attack! Attack! Yes. Yes. Rog! Lunge! Right attack. Yes! Now you've probably seen many others trying to beat games with only voice commands, and you've probably thought to yourself, wow, this doesn't look too hard, I could probably do better. No, me either. But I did think it did look kind of fun in some kind of psychological torture kind of way. If you haven't seen any of these kind of challenges before, I'll be using a program whereby saying certain words will input keyboard commands into the game, allowing me to play. I've only beaten this game once casually when it first came out, and I remember I struggled sometimes even with a normal controller. So this will be interesting. I don't think it's a matter of whether you can beat this game with only voice commands, as I'm sure you can with enough effort and breakdowns. No, this is more about the journey of the pain and suffering we find along the way. I haven't looked into any strats, and I'm not even sure how much has changed since I first played. So join me down the rabbit hole of how far can we get in Cult of the Lamb with only voice commands. I quickly tried setting up some basic controls for standard movement, attack, dodge, and yes to confirm things. And after the program thought I said some pretty odd things, I was ready to try this out with the opening scene of the game. Forward. Oh no. Oh no. Forward. Forward. Well, this is going to be harder than I thought. After what feels like an eternity of saying forward, mostly because I was too stubborn to actually change the commands to make it longer, we eventually get to make it to our first new voice command, oh yeah. This allowed us to hold down the E button for a bit, which was needed quite a bit in the game, as otherwise you'd end up looking like this. Yes. 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 After this, we were able to make it to the tutorial for combat. And, well, things weren't going to be easy for me. Attack. Left. Dodge. Right. Dodge. Right. Attack. I know there's an option to be able to skip the tutorial on new saves now, but I wanted to use it to try and iron out the commands I'll need to progress as they were introduced to me. I did find out during my testing that with dodge, I was going to need some extra commands. Just using the spacebar would have the dodge roll in the direction I was facing, which could be very limiting as we go. So now we had Rog and Lodge. I actually forgot about upwards and downwards. Rog allowed us to dodge right, and Lodge allowed us to dodge left. I decided to continue expanding my movement options. We now have lunge for a bigger movement left, and runge for a bigger movement right. I also added an extra up and down for quick presses to navigate through the menus. I then also needed to be able to open my inventory with my stuff. There was also now exit to back out of things, and escape to open the main menu. I was starting to lose track of all of these. With these new commands under my belt, I was ready to get into the first few tutorial areas. I at least had unlimited health here, so I was able to use this to my advantage to try and perfect my strategy and learn how this could work. I also found out that each time I was hit it would face me in the opposite direction, and do a kind of mini stun to me, something I honestly hadn't noticed in my casual playthrough. This made making follow-up attacks really awkward for me without turning myself around first and attacking just before I was hit again. Safe to say this did not go well for me. Attack. Right. Attack. Right. Attack. Right. Attack. 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 Right. Attack. 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 And while combat was still terrible, I was starting to see that while I may suck at this, it could actually be possible. Eventually, at a cool 25 minutes, I managed to finish the first tutorial section and set myself to easy difficulty. Because I may be a masochist for trying this challenge, but I'm not that masochistic that I won't take any advantage here that I can get. Now that we had our base of operations, I could lunge and runge my way around to get my first follower, and together we gathered up resources needed to start building things. This was also a little painful with my current commands. Yes. 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 Once we were done gathering, I made the meal prep station. The cooking minigame also became its kind of own thing of trying to get it into the green. For what was such a simple and kind of irrelevant section in a casual playthrough, it suddenly becomes something really hard for me as I didn't want to waste any of my hard-earned resources. I found it so much harder than it probably should have been. After some cooking failures came the part I really dreaded, moving on and going into actual combat. I knew this was going to be tough after how much I'd struggled even on the tutorial section, but now I had lives that could run out, and a patience that was also wearing thin. I start my first attempt and things are not looking good. Even getting one kill seems out of my depth currently as they're just too fast for my mouth to keep up with. Attack! 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 Lunge! 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 Attack! 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 Down. Back. After some more deaths with barely any kills, this happens. No! That's right, I died, again. But I got some damn kills, baby. And with that comes a new passion and drive that I was ready to keep on going. I needed a change of plan. I really did want to try and beat this with my skills alone. But even on easy, I could see that I'd go insane before beating one stage. So my next set of actions were as followed. Fine-tune the inputs to try and give me some more flexibility on movement and attacks. We now had left attack, right attack, down attack, and up attack. These turn in that direction and also make an attack, hopefully helping with the issue of getting turned around when hit. Next, look up what I needed to get a demon summoning circle. This would allow me to convert followers into companions that could help me in fights so that I could focus on dodging. But it turns out I'd actually forgotten how this game even works, and this was very far away in the skill tree, and I was going to need to wait until I actually could get devotion from my cult members to level up from. So for now, I was still on my own. I continued grinding out runs to see if I could test out any particular tarot cards or weapons that may be better suited for this challenge. And one of the tarot cards I found came in very handy for this kind of run. When I went to half a heart, which happened fairly often and quickly, everything would take 2 damage. So I just needed to survive being hit for a few seconds and the room of monsters would die. This was big. It managed to get me all the way to the first mini-boss of the tutorial section, something I had been struggling with up until this point. It did unfortunately, however, leave me with next to no life and I quickly died to the mini-boss. But it did really give me hope and some ideas of how this could be done. While I was doing this grinding to try and find as many resources as I could, one of the commands really made it seem like I was doing some sort of NPC stream. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Up, left, 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 up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think my mind may be breaking. After I'd learned earlier of the tarot card that did damage when I was at half a heart, another mechanic I'd forgotten about had come in clutch for me. This was diseased hearts. Whenever you took damage with a diseased heart, it would deal damage to all enemies. On one run I happened to get one from a tree and then noticed its power. So I got another one at the shop and this managed to carry me all the way to the first tutorial mini-boss again. But this time, I was fully healthy and ready to brawl. Attack, 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 right attack, right attack, left attack, left attack, left attack, right attack. And that is how I managed to beat Cult the Lamb's first mini-boss using only voice commands. In 4 hours. I now had access to a lot more at my camp, could finally build a shrine to get devotion, still with the plan to try and get a demon summoning circle to ease my burdened mind. I also got the temple where I could hold my sermons and improve my abilities there. These were going to be very important for me as I was going to need whatever help I could get. Once I was done at camp, it was time to venture forwards. And I'm once again given more abilities I'm going to have to try and make some bindings for. I'm introduced to the curses and asked to try using a projectile. I now needed to add commands for mouse clicks as well. So we have aim for clicking the mouse down, and fire for releasing it. This allowed me to be able to shoot the projectile, but aiming it was a whole other matter. I need to be able to move the mouse to where I actually wanted to shoot, but I still wasn't really familiar with the command creation software and my brain was getting tired. So I tried making these commands. Spin right up, spin right down, spin left up, and spin left down. I also needed to add a command curse for any non-projectile curses. This would just instantly activate them. I tried practicing the projectile curse in the tutorial for it, and even a few times out in the wild. Spin right. Spin right. Spin right. Safe to say, I'll probably be avoiding these until my brain unsmooths on how to set up the mouse voice command for this to work a little better. After playing around with my own projectiles, enemies also started to be able to use them, and this became the bane of my runs. These little guys suddenly became the most annoying little pea shooters possible. While this was a breeze to dodge normally as they don't really fire that fast or often, with the voice command delay and my brain to words delay, it may as well have been a bullet hell genre for me. When I made it back to camp, I was finally able to name my cult. Turns out there wasn't actually enough letters for me to have cult with a voice. So we got cult with a voice, this? I'm not really sure. I also managed to finally get to a point where I could actually get the demon summoning circle. I'd also gotten a guy talking shit about my cult and I was very sad he couldn't be the first sacrifice into a demon buddy. But what this did mean was the plan was back on. I do think I could still do this by myself purely in voice commands, but boy was I finding it so mind-melting. Right attack. Runge. Just end me. The runs were also heavily dependent on RNG at the moment, depending on if I'd gotten diseased hearts during them. Any run I got them, I ended up making so much more progress than anything else. I did find an ability where I could start with diseased hearts that I could unlock later on, and I do think this could be a pretty powerful thing for this sort of run, but I can only unlock it after beating a major boss, so for now I'll continue with other options. Now that I was interacting with my followers more and more, I also needed to expand my repertoire even further. So now I had up right, up left, and down right. This was so I could select all the different interactions I now had for me. I also added fodge and bodge for dodging forwards and backwards to help keep my mobility options high, and I also forgot them earlier. Whenever I was back at camp, even the simplest of tasks that were normally so easy had become so hard and tedious. Even cleaning up the poop. It's so slow and awkward to move around the base, so this takes far longer than I'd like. Left. Left. Up. 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 Yes. I did start making this gardening patch, but kind of just gave up after a while as it was just too slow to go for each one. And even one of my old followers died while waiting for it. But he was put to good use. I continued spending my time in the camp as I'd gotten my first dissenter. I spent so long educating Fimras I just couldn't afford to lose any followers of how slow my progress had been, and it turned out that after I'd re-educated him, we had a whole B-plot playing out in the camp. Hammer had requested he eat some poop, and then afterwards other cult members were adamant on making me play pranks on him. From multiple members asking me to make him eat more poop, to throwing him in the prison for the lols. Then, the ultimate prank. Murder. Truly funny stuff. Yes. Yes. Once I did get back to the combat progression, it was equally very slow at that moment. I still wanted to see how far I could get without the demon summoning, but I was still really struggling to even get to the second mini-boss of the Dark Woods. I spent a couple of hours just grinding out runs while trying to maintain and improve the camp. I did find that with the combat, the daggers were my least favourite option. They were just far too short of a range for my slow movements, and I struggled much more on runs when I had them. The axes, however, were pretty good for the cleave and could really help out my more frantic combat style. I was, however, still getting used to the voice command program, not always picking up what I wanted. Dodge. 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 Attack. 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 Dodge. Right attack. I then decided to give in and try the demon summoning circle for a few runs, as I'd now had enough cult members to tend to the camp while I was gone. I'd never used one of these in my casual playthrough, so I wasn't really sure how it worked. I saw that I could get different demons based on which cult member I chose, and they would do different things like be an archer or exploding. So after some test runs with them, I found the archer to be a more useful one for me. They weren't always super fast with firing arrows, but they were at least always there. Unlike the explosion demon that would explode once and then not be there until you progressed to the next room. This was much more limiting with my current slow movement playstyle, so I opted to always use the archer for now. I did manage to get one very nice run where I was overflowing with hearts and managed to get to the second mini-boss with a decent amount left. I thought this was it. However, now that they were so mobile with jumping, I was struggling hard to keep up with my movements, and painfully lost that run just one hit away from victory. Rog. Fodge. I kept grinding and grinding and managed to get back to this mini-boss a few more times, and then I was also able to unlock the upgraded demon summoning circle, allowing me to summon 2 demons to help me. I then went on a run with an archer and an exploder and was feeling pretty good about myself. I got to the mini-boss on a little less health than I'd have liked, but then this happened. Fodge. Rog. Fodge. The explosion demon was amazing against the bosses, it seemed. With this victory, my belief of being able to achieve this reached new heights, and this quickly turned into me having a great run with my 2 demons again. Rog. Down attack. With 3 mini-bosses down in the Dark Woods, I was really feeling it now. I dismissed that exploding demon earlier, but my oh my was he becoming the MVP once I reached the bosses. And then, quite quickly, I got to my first full boss, Leshy. Bodge. Attack. 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 Rog. Curse. Attack. Rog. Lodge. Lodge. Forge. Fodge. Fodge. Attack. Attack. Curse. Bodge. Bodge. Curse. Curse. Left attack. Left attack. Lodge. 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 Down attack. Rodge. Rodge. Up attack. Up attack. Down attack. Down attack. Yes. I was so close with my first attempt, but managed to come back and just smash it. After beating them, it really did feel like this strat was working. I still had issues against fast moving projectiles or enemies, but the demons were really helping out with the damage. I then went on to start grinding the second section, and I unlocked the relics and added in another command. I'm not sure these were actually in the game when I first played it, so I wasn't actually sure how they ended up working, and actually forgot about them quite a lot. After I continued making my way through, I ended up already at the second main boss, and well, I completely destroyed him. Bodge. Fodge. Relic. Fodge. Attack. 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 Fodge. Attack.
Yes.
After suffering for so long for the first 10 hours or so, things were really coming together now that I'd been unlocking the upgrades. With my mission in sight, I continued just grinding out runs. Getting to the mini-bosses sometimes was really easy, but I was still just dying to mobs that were too fast or had too many projectiles flying about. I had a close encounter with the second mini-boss of Anchordeep and had to be saved by my follower's sacrifice that I'd just unlocked from the last boss heart. Fortunately, the curse's ghosts were still there when I came back alone to finish off the job. At this point in camp, I'd honestly unlocked so much of everything, I was starting to think I was going to cap out soon. But we continued on with the grind, making it to the third main boss. I was a little worried going into this battle as I'd just used my resurrection in a previous room just to be able to make it to this point, and I didn't get here with many hearts. It was a close one. Up attack. Up attack. Up attack. Up attack. Curse. Rodge. 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 Up attack. Up attack. Curse. Up attack. Lodge. 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 Rodge. Rodge. We celebrated back at the temple, and I got very confused when the snake turned up. I certainly hadn't met him before in the base game, but I did also then unlock the mating tent, for science. As I'd spent longer in this game now with only 3 bosses down than I had in my whole casual playthrough, I was starting to see what happened to a cult that wasn't super self-efficient. My food supply was continually running low. I did try fishing, but, well, I won't be doing that again. So I continued pressing on. With the 4th area now unlocked, we could gather up some of the spiderweb and unlock the 3rd demon summoning circle, allowing for 3 demons to now be taken along with me. Even with these 3, I still struggled in certain rooms when there was just too much going on, but I eventually made it to the 4th bishop. Bodge. Curse. Down attack. Relic. Curse. Curse. Left attack. Lodge. Lodge. Right attack. Oh yeah. We had made it. One last boss stood in our way. I had maxed out all of my upgrades at this point, and had so much of the camp bits unlocked too. So going forward to meet my fate, I realised I needed 20 followers but only had 19. So one quick purchase later, and we were now back to where we started. Forward. 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 We were here. Time to refuse to be a lamb to the slaughter and fight. Bodge. Yes. Lodge. Bodge. Bodge. Rodge. Down attack. Bodge. Right attack. Right attack. Right attack. Right attack. Up attack. Up attack. Curse. Lodge. 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 Down attack. Rodge. Rodge. Up attack. Yes. 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 Bodge. Bodge. Left. Fodge. 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 Attack. Bodge. 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 Rodge. Curse. Lodge. Lodge. Up attack. Up attack. Lodge. Lodge. Bodge. Left attack. Rodge. Rodge. Up. Fodge. Fodge. Lodge. Curse. Well, my bomb demon made good use of the first guy. The second guy got a little tougher, but damn did I hate how much the one who waits jumps around. It made it so awkward to be able to catch up to him. I'd also lost my really good range demon now, and I was really starting to feel it. We went again. Things were going great, but how had I forgotten that it was a damn second phase? God damn it, did it play with my heart too much, and the bullet hell that awaited me was just salt on the wound afterwards. And you know what the saddest part of having to redo this fight is? I had to do the slow walk over and over again, and even with his little cutscenes. So, with that comes our final voice command, skip, allowing me to press and release the left mouse key to skip the cutscenes. Pray for me. We went again, hammer in hand. Bodge, bodge, bodge. Rodge. Attack. Down attack. Down attack. Down attack. Down attack. Bodge. Right attack. Up attack. Bodge. Left attack. Left attack. Up attack. Down attack. Down attack. Curse. Lodge. Fodge. Curse. 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 Bodge. Lodge. Up. Forward. Forward. Bodge. 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 Rodge. Fodge. Fodge. Lodge. Curse. Rodge. I almost didn't believe that he was actually dead and was expecting a third phase here, but no. That is how you beat Cult of the Lamb using only voice commands. In a total of nearly 18 hours, 81 in-game days, it was done. I highly doubt this was the best that could have been done, and I'd love to hear if you know of anything that I could have tried. But with that, if there's any other weird challenges or ideas you may have, subscribe and let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Forward.